You know, there are times when we can have some attitudes that, if we're not careful, can lead us astray and can push other people away from us. They're like poison in our lives. And it's also like, especially since we've been wearing masks a lot, if you have bad breath, you can see how people may back away from you. And sometimes we just need to wear a mask every once in a while just to show us, that doesn't smell too good. Maybe I understand why people are not so close. These attitudes can push people away from us. And so it can also push people away from Christ. Notice a superiority complex. You've heard of people that have an inferiority complex. Well, these are people that think they're better than everybody else. And unfortunately, there are many times that Christians act that way. We act like we have it all over somebody else. But in Romans 15, 1 and 2, it says, "Now we who are strong have an obligation to bear the weaknesses of those without strength and not to please ourselves. Each one of us is to please his neighbor for his good, to build him up." There's also complacency. You know, in this day and age, especially after the lockdowns and facing the crisis and some of the chaos that we've had around us, it's very easy to get into a sense of complacency where I just want to protect myself and that which is mine, and I'm not sure I want to venture out too far. But listen to what Hebrews 6, 11, and 12 says. "We want each of you to prove that you're working hard so that you will remain confident until the end. Then, instead of being lazy, you will imitate those who are receiving the promises through faith and patience." They're glory seekers, people that are trying to get God's glory but get it for themselves. Isaiah 66, 2 says, "I will look favorably on this kind of person, one who is humble, submissive in spirit, and trembles at my word." Then there are people that are blame throwers, like Adam blamed God and Eve when he was cornered after he sinned. But Romans 14:12 says, "So then each of us will give an account of himself to God." And there are just some people that are nasty. They're just mean. Romans 12:21 says, "Don't be conquered by evil, but conquer evil with good." There are people who are seeking your pity. They want to be pitied. Galatians 6:1 says, "Brothers and sisters, if someone is overtaken in any wrongdoing, who are spiritual, restore such a person with a gentle spirit, watching out for yourselves so that you also won't be tempted." There are some that are proud or haughty. They walk around like a peacock. Isaiah 5:21 says, "Woe to those who consider themselves wise and judge themselves clever." There are also those who are passive-aggressive agitators. Those who actually act on aggression but do it in a passive manner. Those who act like they're unworthy of something and yet all the time are working behind the scenes to get at others. Matthew 18:15 says, "If your brother sins against you, go tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have won your brother back." And there are negativity spreaders, or what H.B. London would call joy suckers. There are people like, you're having a great day in the Lord, and you have the joy of the Lord, and these people just show up, and when they leave, it's like it's all gone. They've just worn you out. Isaiah 38, verse 18 says, "Therefore the Lord is waiting to show you mercy and is rising up to show you compassion, for the Lord is a just God. All who wait patiently for him are happy." Finally, there are me first lovers. They just can't wait to be at the first of the line. They're like the little kids when you line them up. They just want to be first one in line. Evidently, the Apostle John had a problem with someone like that, because in 3 John he writes, I wrote something to the church, but Diotrephes, who loves to have first place among them, does not receive our authority. This is why, if I come, I will remind him of the works he is doing, slandering us with malicious words, and he is not satisfied with that. He also refuses to welcome fellow believers, but he even stops those who want to do so and expels them from the church. Let me ask you this. If you have an attitude like one of these, are people attracted to you? Are people attracted to Christ through you? Are they repelled? Do they look at you and they say, I don't want to have a thing to do with Christianity if it looks like that?